Hi, I'm Matt Eland. I'll be walking you through how to build a game and learn C Sharp. This is a self-guided workshop offered by Tech Elevator. I'm an instructor for Tech Elevator's Columbus campus, and I have a rich history in .NET and C Sharp development. I've actually been working with C Sharp since Beta 2 of the language back in 2001. Today, I want to walk you through learning C Sharp and really just how to build applications in C Sharp, .NET, and Visual Studio. So in order to work through this lesson, you're going to need either a PC or a Mac, and be able to download software from the internet. Welcome back. This is number 2 of 4 of our Learn to Code series. I'm going to be walking you through variables and expressions in Visual Studio and C Sharp development. So when we last left off, we created a new project, and we just left a default program in there, and we ran it. And all it did right now is said "Hello World." Well, we're going to fix that. We're gonna do some more things today. So today we're going to add in variables. So a variable is something that can change potentially. It's the program's way of storing little pieces of data. So this "Hello World," well, that could be a variable. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to hit Control X on Windows, or Command X, I suppose, on Mac. And I'm going to go up to line 8. I'll add a new line below it, and I'm going to say string, string, message equals, and now I will paste that value. And at the very end there, I'm going to add a semicolon. Lines in C Sharp need to end in semicolons as a general rule, or else the program's going to get very cranky. If I had forgotten the semicolon, I'd see a little red squiggly, and it said, hey, a semicolon is expected. So we'll add in that semicolon, and now we have string message equals hello world. So here I'm declaring a string variable. So I'm declaring a variable named message that expects a string. Okay, string is a kind of a computer science word. It just means some text. It could be, a space character. It could be the letter O. It could be my name, Matt Eland. It could be the complete text of Alice in Wonderland. Just when you see string, think some text. Okay? And this text is right now hello world. And now on line 10, inside of my parentheses, I'll say console.writeLine, and then it needs something that it's going to write out. I want it to write message. Okay? I'm going to add a line break there just so it's a little cleaner to read. So when this runs, it's going to start and it's going to say, hey, okay, declare a new message variable. It's going to expect a string. Okay, and now I want you to set hello world into that variable. So now message is hello world. And now on line 11, it says, hey, I want you to console.writeLine the current value inside of message. And so now when I run this, I'm going to see the same thing we saw last time, which is hello world. Okay? It works. But let's do something different. I'm going to add another line. I'm going to say message equals hello variables. And now, when I run this, message is going to start hello world. But then on line 11, I'm going to set hello variables into message, so that when line 13 comes around, the current value of message is going to be hello variables. And now when I run, I should see hello variables on the screen. And we see that I do. So that is sort of what you can do with variables, the beginnings of what you can do anyway. Now I'm going to actually just get rid of these 3 lines because I no longer need them. And we're going to do something different. So we talked about strings being some text, right? There's another variable type that we're going to be working with. So it's called int. So I'm going to say int num1 equals 4. And what I'm saying here is I want you to declare an integer variable named num1. An integer is just a whole number. It could be 1, it could be 5, it could be 0, it could be 308, could be negative 42. It can't be 3.14. That's we need a decimal type for that. So an int is just some whole number. Okay? So now I'm declaring an int variable num1, and I'm setting that equal to 4. And next I'm going to say int num2 equals 2. You can put whatever numbers you want. I'm just putting these in. And then after this, I'm going to say console.writeLine. And I'm going to add in quotes. When you see quotes in C#, it means a string. I'm going to say num1 is, and I'll hit a space, and then I'll put plus, and then num1. And similarly, I'm going to copy and paste this, and the following line, I'm going to just say num2 is num2. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Here, I'm declaring an integer variable named num1, and I'm setting it to 4. Next, I'm declaring an integer variable named num2, and I'm setting it to 2. Now, on line 12, I'm writing something out. I'm saying num1 is, and that's a string, and then I'm going to add the current value of num1. Okay? So what happens when this runs is C# gets to the line 12, and it says, okay, num1 is, okay, well, that's a string. All right, so now I need to add it. Okay, what do I need to add it with? Well, num1. All right, well, what's my current value of num1? Well, my current value is 4. So under the covers, it kind of replaces num1 with 4 just as it's evaluating that line. And it says, well, wait a minute, I can't add text and a number together, but you know what I can do? I can convert this number to text. And so it says, hey, I'm going to treat this 4 as this. And then it says, okay, well, I can add two strings together. That's just going to be this, right? I'm going to undo that so we can see this. I'm going to click run, and we should see num1 is 4 and num2 is 2 because C# evaluates what's inside those parentheses, and we see that num1 is 4 and num2 is 2. So this right here is called an expression. So an expression is just how C# evaluates variables and other things. So you can see that variables are powerful, but let's actually do something meaningful. So I'm going to declare another variable on line 15 here. I'm going to say int result. So that's an integer variable named result. I'm going to set it equal, but instead of setting it to some number, I'm going to set it equal to num1 plus num2. And now I'm going to, below this, I'm going to say console.writeLine. And now I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to select this and hit enter. It's a nice little shortcut. And I'd say num1 plus, and then I'm going to give it a string, the plus symbol. And then I'm going to give it num2, and then I'm going to give it plus, and I'm going to give it another string, equals, so the equals character, and then I'm going to give it a plus, and I'm going to give it result. You're likely fairly intimidated by this if you're new to programming, which hopefully you are if you're watching this. But let's just walk through it here. So here, we're going to start out, and C# is going to say, okay, I want the current value of num1. All right, well, that's a 1. Okay, well, that's an integer. I need to add it to the plus symbol and some spaces. Well, let's convert it to a string. Okay, so now I have, I guess the value of num1 was 4, right? So I have 4 plus, and then, okay, well, now I need to add that to the current value of num2, which is 2. Okay, so 4 plus 2, because it converted that integer to a string, and it says, okay, well, now I need to add the equal character. Okay, well, 4 plus 2 equals, okay, well, now I need to add the current value of result. Well, result is 4 plus 2. On line 15, when 15 ran, it said, okay, 4 plus 2, Oh, that's 6. So I'm going to set 6 into result on line 15. That's what C# will do. And now over here, it's going to say, okay, my current value of result is 6. So it's going to convert that to a string, and the whole thing is what gets written out to the console. And when we run this, and so we run it, and we see 4 plus 2 is 6. So this is sort of the power that we have with expressions. And just in case that was unclear, let me just look at this line by line here. Right, so here when we get this num1, okay, well, C# is going to stop and it's going to say, okay, well, that means 4, because the num1 is currently 4. Okay, well, now, what's num2? Oh, well, num2 is a 2. Can I add integers together? Oh, I can. Yeah, okay, well, 4 plus 2. Well, that's 6. And then it sets 6 into result. So it creates this integer variable result, and it sets 6 into it. And now we get down here on line 17. It's going to look at the current value of num1. Well, that's still 4. And it's going to say, hey, I want you to add this number to the plus string. Well, I need to convert the number to a string. So it does that. And then it says, well, okay, I know how to add those together. It's just kind of simplifying it like that. Okay, so 4 plus num2. Well, what's num2? Well, num2 is a 2. Well, integer to a string, right? So it converts it to a string. String addition is pretty simple. Well, another string addition going on over here. And now result, well, that's still 6. Oh, well, I need to convert this to a string. And so this is why we see 4 plus 2 equals 6 when we run the program. All right. Well, all of this is really going to be unnecessary for the next piece of code. So I'm going to delete everything. But I hope you join me in the next module when we actually start making our game, now that we understand a little bit of the basics. So stay tuned and happy coding.